Good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. Happy 2022. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday. Back ready for this new year. We're off to a great start. What a holiday. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying healthy out there. And it's been just over a week, almost 2 weeks since we did our last video. So today's video, what I'm going to do is we're going to do of course, a market deep dive to see what is going on in the market, whether it's going to be red flags or are we going to be starting off the 2022 with big bullish action. And I'm going to reduce the tickers that we are going to be covering. Originally, I was thinking maybe we'll cover a lot of tickers, but we did that at the end of 2021. Instead, what we're going to be looking at is doing a top watch list kind of a thing for starting off as 2022. Make sure we're set up correctly, just to let you guys know the tickers that are on my top watch, or I'm in the position of, full transparency. Let's get this started. First one, SPX. What we're looking at here, still same thing, rising, long-term rising wedge ever since the beginning of the wedge. The upper trend line was formed on September and the lower trend line started on October, end of October. This has been a long-term trend line until this lower trend line of the wedge, of the rising wedge, breaks bear. I don't see any real concerns for the bulls, and as of the way it stands right now, last week was the perfect week to just trade one single day on Monday and then let the rest of the week consolidate, play out itself kind of thing. This is a beautiful chart. We're looking at daily bull flag, a new all-time high on SPX. No real concerns. Volume is amazing. Today, to start the new year's off, we saw decent bull volume coming in, bouncing straight from that daily 8. Ideally tomorrow, same as usual. We're going to want to see that confirmation tomorrow for bull flag confirmation into new highs. Now let's take a look at NAS. Very similar idea. Bull flag confirmation today. We're gonna need that continuation tomorrow. No real red flags. And Russ, we're still seeing a stall in this area. Now there's lots of upper wicks, and we are unable to break over the inner wedge from before, the upper trend line of that inner wedge. We're still having a little bit of trouble with that. Tomorrow we're gonna need to see follow through, confirm that bull flag into continuation. Ultimately, we got the trend change on the daily today. The 2281 was a must break for Russ. We got over it to 2287 today, but still need that follow through. And then from there, we might be looking for a higher low on Russ. But due to this being a daily bull flag, we could see some decent continuation before coming back down to make a higher low. As for Dow, we are in, is this new all-time high zone? The highest close ever on Dow. And same idea, daily bull flag. Not going to repeat myself. Alright, so that's it for the market. Let's take a look at the leading indicators. First one I wanted to take a look at, not indicator wise, is QQQ over IWM. We have not looked at this for some time. Last time we looked at it was roughly about this daily bear divergence, and we're not seeing follow through so far. So this is a very good sign for QQQs versus IWM. Daily bear divergence, no follow through. We did make the daily trend, did just make new lows today, and ultimately we could be seeing a back test of this previous, now long-term trend line instead of a short. So you could be seeing a back test of this before making new highs. I would get worried once we get to that 1.88 area. However, my personal thinking now is, overall market, what I'm seeing today, or what I'm seeing as of the recent today's move, or as well as the last week of 2021, is there's a little bit more market unison versus what we wanted to see back in December. So that's a good sign in the sense that bulls are coming in. There is a ton of reversals either shaping up or confirming, daily trend reversals confirming. So make sure you pick out your tickers, relative strength, and just let it play out from there. So QQQ, looking at this, I would anticipate further bullish action, meaning QQQ stronger than IWM, Rus. And watch for the reaction once it gets to the 1.88, which is, I believe, long-term double top. Yeah, roughly around that long-term double top, as well as the 1-to-1 extension target from this higher low, higher high to this higher low, 1.88. All right, let's take a look at US dollars. Still trying to hold that weekly 8. Decent move today so far. Yeah, so decent move today so far. Ultimately is still in that weekly bull flag formation. We did lose that weekly 8 last week ever so slightly. Still within that channel. No real concerns, bulls or bears. US 10 years, now this is a good sign for market bulls. We are seeing a US 10-year bull break. Lack of follow through on this head and shoulders neckline break, back test, no follow through. Amazing. VIX, the pattern is starting to negate what we were looking at before for a potential repeat of this pattern, breaking over that upper trend line of a wedge and then riding that upper trend line, coming back down to riding that upper trend line before a huge leg up. So this could still happen, but ultimately we are starting to negate it. We are still riding along that upper trend line depending on which one you're tracking, whether it's the longer one or the shorter one that's a little bit fatter. And from here, yeah, I think as long as this low 1410 or 1473 hold, I would feel a lot safer having a small hedge position, just because if this does pan out to be the same kind of move, we won't have to worry about the sizing of it. We can add into that move, and the hedge would serve the purpose in reducing some of the hits on our bull positions. Looking at this, it is still in that play. Timeline wise, it does somewhat make sense. What I'm thinking here from here on out, however, with the market, is I'm thinking, January, February generally is very, very bullish for RSP as well as IRA, whichever country you're in, North America rally kind of a thing. And with that being said, then we'll be watching VIX very closely to see whether it's going to be a pop. If there is, it's going to ruin that move potentially. So VIX so far is looking good for market bulls. Gold is starting to pop a little bit. Still no real concerns. Real concern would be upon the break of this upper trend line. So no concerns from gold for the market. Bitcoin, sort of sideways action, range bound in between. Very clear support here actually. So we can probably draw this support now a little bit lower. Something like that. Maybe even lower actually. Let's take a look. Does anything fit? Hey, that might work. Yeah, so this works here. Doesn't work there. All right, so the previous long-term support no longer works. So we're gonna have to draw a shorter term support. This is a very clear guide. Range bound. Upon the loss of either direction, there should be a decent play for follow through. On the loss of this one, we will be looking down at the key zone with 42,000, followed by the bottom of the key zone at about 40K. On the bull break of this, we'll be looking at the next key zone, which actually might line up with the trend line right around 55,500. That's Bitcoin. Ethereum, somewhat similar, but there is a clear, I think there might be a channel. Let's take a look. Let's see how this works out. A little bit more. So it might be a channel somewhere around here. There is a loss of the lower trend line, but immediately bounced up, and there is a break of the upper trend line, immediately lost it again. So we are still staying in this channel for now. Support is being lost, immediate buy up, but no follow through on the buy up. So Ethereum still in a downtrend. All right, so that's it for the market. Overall, again, I am thinking bullish on the next month or two. And then from there, we will be looking at what exactly is going to be happening. My anticipation is after 2 months of run, I would be looking for consolidation. Now, there's a very, very interesting theory that I came across during my time off, that some people are saying on SPX, ES1, SPX, whatever you are tracking in SPY, you know, let's do. There's an interesting theory that on SPX, if you're to backtrack to 2017, because we are looking at potential rate increase over 2022, so there could be a repeat of that pattern based on 2017 rate increase. And the theory is that, how come it doesn't touch? I thought it was supposed to touch here. I think something's off, but anyways, so the theory that I came across is that, you know, after a year-long run of without any touches on the 200 SMA, you should see a consolidation to the SMA, and then followed by a year later, you know, if it's interest rate increase, then you'll likely see a loss of that 200 SMA. So this has already happened at one of the 3 steps. The first one of the 3, the year-long run without 200 SMA touch, that's already happened. And so just be careful. You know, that's why I say there's no worries. We're going to be playing based on the trend. The trend is currently bullish, and until this lower trend line of the rising wedge is lost, then we'll be playing bearish from there. And even if we're to play it from the loss of the lower trend line, we are still looking at 10% roughly to the downside. So not going to be too worried about that. Maybe we should start hedging, you know, somewhere on the loss of the trend line. Anyways, so that's it for the market. Let's get into the hottest tickers. First one is gonna be, as usual, Tesla. Congrats, Tesla swingers. Woo! Congrats, 13%. What a start to the new year's. I hope you guys swung some Tesla. I personally took profit on, I think it was Monday. Entered on this day, just because I was away from the chart, so I wasn't really playing options. Entered on this day, took profits on this day, just based on this upper and lower trend lines. And then I was looking at it on Friday, but, you know, wasn't really at the computer, so decided not to play it. But holy delivery numbers, gap up and continuation. Congrats, Tesla swingers, coming up to 1,200. A lot of those calls are going to be in the money already. And what we're looking at from here, my concern, of course, is a big gap left behind. But, you know, looking at the chart, there is a gap left behind here as well. We are closing near that high of day. We are near new all-time high. Upon the break over 1243, we'll be over in new all-time high territory already. Tesla is one hell of a strong name. And from here, what I'm thinking, tomorrow we're gonna need to see that follow through. We're not too far extended on the daily 8 from the daily 8 yet. So with that being said, let's close this one actually. So with that being said, you know, if we get follow through into new all-time high, this could see extended run in the new all-time high territory. Tesla, amazing bullish. If tomorrow, based on today's action, tomorrow, personally, I would anticipate a little bit more inside bar, but because of the close near the high of day, we could see a wick over to new highs before coming back down. Remember, big worry is there is a gap left behind. The ideal situation, if you are not in, is you're going to be watching for that back test, ideally somewhere like that. Might be too much, too soon, too fast. Too much, too soon, too fast. And then the balance from there. So the entry would be right around here if you are not in. If you are in, or I guess alternative, you could be playing momentum and just make sure you are keeping a very close eye on it. Do not want to be screwed on this as a first trade, or even one one of the first trades for 2022. If you are in, there is no real concerns until the loss of today's low. There is a big gap that could potentially get filled. So congrats, Tesla bulls. Next one is Apple. New all-time high. Congrats, Apple bulls. No reason to sell, right? So before we're using that 88 as guide based on these two balances from here, we did lose that 88, but we saw bullish action over the next 2 days, and then it was gap down, dip buying, gap down, dip buying, and then from there we saw a save of that 88. Now there is potential for a daily bear divergence, but based on the volume, based on the price action, I am still not seeing real red flags on Apple. Blue skies should see continuation. No reason to sell yet. Today is probably, or Friday, same as Tesla, is the day to add into as an option play into new all-time high, highest close ever. Whew. Apple continuation. Next one, TSM. Now this one is not too bullish in the sense is not we're not in new all-time high, but this is a hot ticker being discussed. And what I really like about this is this long-term upper trend line where we saw 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections with one fake out. 5 rejections actually. So 5 rejections with one fake out. We are seeing a very clear break and continuation, very similar to Tesla. Gap up, continuation, break over, key zone, everything. It has all resistance have been broken, and from here we will be looking at new all-time high zone. Really like the chart. Same idea though. There is a big gap left behind. Earnings is coming up, could be the catalyst. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. Yeah, no red flags. And excuse me if I'm not talking as smoothly. It has been 2 weeks off. GP daily trend bullish. Let's watch for the higher low. What I would anticipate on TSM is a little bit of continuation. Where is that resistance? Somewhere around here. Okay, so it might be, what we could see from here is that a back test before all-time high zone, or the move might be a little bit lower and then the back test of the trend line before a new all-time high. So Taiwan Semiconductor looking very nice. Next one is MU. Micron, this one is coming into new all-time high. It has had an amazing run already ever since October. One of the very notable bullish actions in market consolidation. Negated market consolidation both in November as well as in December, and we saw continuation, daily hold, and now we're seeing, is this a weekly bull flag? So this was a weekly bull flag that got confirmed on the second last week of 2021. And we're seeing a little bit of an upper wick from that previous all-time high 96.96. Just under. And from here, we're a little bit extended on the weekly. Ever so slightly extended on the weekly. So let's see if we get a higher low before a next move up into new all-time high. But Micron is looking extremely strong. There is a bear divergence on the daily so far. Back from the high of RSI to this high. So there is a daily bear divergence right now. Let's see how this plays out. I will give it time. Not going to be rushing into this unless we see some very, very clear bullish action with volume coming in into new all-time high, blue sky breakout. Then maybe a momentum play. But Micron, really like the chart. Next one is Ford. New 52-week high. Congrats, Ford players. I think partly due to Tesla's extreme bullish move on a so-so market today, I am seeing a lot of other tickers moving along with it. That's electric EV related, whether that's Lucid, Ford, FCL. A lot of those names are moving with Tesla, and we have seen relations in their moves prior as well. I have noticed that from before. So with Ford, the good thing about it is it's not like FCL, where it's in the downtrend and it's just moving based on today's, in my opinion, today's Tesla's move kind of a thing. So this is a long-term downside, you know, decent move today, 11% versus Ford. There's a long-term bullish trend on the weekly bull flag confirmation. Weekly bull flag confirmation. A little bit of a gap left behind, but new 52-week high. Closing is a little bit weaker, not closing at the high of the day, but daily is daily increasing bull volume. One of my other top watches. Right, let's get into the requested tickers. First one is going to be Lucid. Love what the chart is doing. On this, we did see a hold of the GP. We did see a hold of the support resistance at 36. Wicked under it, but immediately bought up. Wicked under it, immediately bought up, and now we are seeing follow through. Look at the volume. Okay, this is very clear on the volume. Low bear volume, high bear volume. Before that, low bear volume, increasing bull volume. Low bear volume, high bear bull volume again. So Lucid, loving what the chart is doing. We are trading over that daily 8 now, very clear close over it, and we need that 42.50 for a clear daily trend reversal. But from here, not seeing any significant red flags. Love what Lucid is doing. Let's see. So next resistance, next key resistance I can see. Oh, we actually did just reject from it. So the key resistance I'm looking at is right here. Rejection, gap up over, chopped around a little bit. Clear support here, another support here. Double rejection from these two. Triple rejection actually. So this 4160 is a very key support resistance that on the shorter term must break. Tomorrow, if we are to see continuation on this chart, should be easily broken. And then from there, the next key one would be $50. Lucid, I really like the chart. One of my top watches. Already in decent sizing for commons. Looking for addition on options based on what the market is doing. Main thing for tomorrow, again, we're going to want to see that follow through overall in the market. Next one, RBLX. GP hold. I like the chart. So the problem I have with RBLX, let me just take a quick look at what my alert is set, because somehow it didn't go off today. RBLX. $7.30. That's weird. So technically, if you look at it, it did cross that upper trend line. Not on the 30-minute. Okay. I don't know how this, it's a little bit too detailed. RBLX. Why do I have two? Okay, still don't need that one. Ultimately, the most ideal entry is gonna be in that gap fill territory. So I don't know why this one is here. Let me just delete it. Let's add another one. Gap fill. Yeah, right here is a very clear support resistance around 85. That would be the most ideal entry on RBLX. On the shorter time frame wise, we are looking at this upper trend line. As long as this upper trend line breaks bull, if we're holding that GP, this could be a very decent move on RBLX going forward. Since we're talking about RBLX, there is another one I wanted to cover. So looking at this, very clear Browning wedge. 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections on the upper trend line already. 1, 2. Not really a support, but the dip did get bought. 4 bounces on the lower trend line as well. Browning wedge, very clear area to range to play. Same as coin. Look at this. Browning wedge as well. Let's remove that head and shoulders. Wow, that head and shoulders got some decent follow through on the break of the neckline. Hey, hope someone played puts on that one, or shorted it at least. So this is a very nice Browning wedge, Very similar. 1, 2, 3 rejections from this upper trend line already, and 1, 2, 3 bounces from the lower trend line already as well. So on coin, I thought about taking an entry today. There is a very clear support at the bottom of this key zone, a very small risk to potential big reward. But looking at the chart, it was a little bit relative weak to the market bullish today. So what we could be seeing is coming back down to another touch of the lower trend line before an actual move up. So coin is should set an alert on this one. For now, I'm going to set it at 256. Maybe that's a bit tight. Let me move it up a little bit. We'll set it to the break of this support resistance. 260. 261, 262. Okay, so just under 262. All right, so that's it for coin. That's it for RBLX. Next ones, the few other tickers that are on my top watch that I wanted to discuss are Amazon, short-term wedge, this clear uptrend line that we've been tracking. There is almost a break today. We did close basically right on that upper trend line. Upon the break, so on the shorter time frames, 1 hour, this is very nice daily 1 hourly bull flag and strong bull flag. Based on the hourly, we did close over the upper trend line, but we're gonna need to see follow through tomorrow immediately on Amazon. This is one of my top watches just because fake out, double fake out pattern, breakdown, fake out, breakout, fake out, GP hold, double GP hold. This pattern is still intact. We're gonna need to see that bullish action coming in. And personally, I'm anticipating that once Amazon starts moving bullish, we should see market to begin moving really bullish. And based on the RSP and the IRA rally that I'm thinking, I do believe Amazon should see a very nice bull break. But there's a lot of work to be done on Amazon's part. Just one of those that's on top watch. Another one today is AIRBNB. Look at how nice, how sexy this candle is today. Just a huge, solid body of green candle. AIRBNB, bullish engulfing, increasing bull volume, amazing candle. We should see follow based on today's candle. We should see follow through tomorrow and further. The resistance we're looking at is up at 187.50. 72.73. Okay, so we did break over this 72.73 already. Daily trend confirmed. Gonna need that follow through tomorrow. Another one that's getting interesting is reopenings. So keep your eyes on reopening stocks, whether that's AAL, CCL, RCL, hotels, BA, AIRBNB. Very notable daily trend reversal. Lower low, lower high, higher low. And now we're looking at higher high, whether if you're tracking it against back here or against back here. Daily higher high on nice bull volume. Bad thing about it is there is a bigger upper wick. But looking at the chart, it is still in a 30-minute bull flag formation. Let's take a look at this. 30-minute bull flag. We're going to need to see that follow through tomorrow. AAL looking very interesting. The other one, PENN. So in between the, actually, let's go back a little bit here. In between the reopening stocks, you're going to need to make sure you pick out which one you like the most. I'm not going to go over all of them, but just going to quickly take a peek at them for you. And then the reason why I went with AAL, discussing AAL instead of all the other ones, is you look at CCL. CCL is one of the stronger ones as well. Daily trend reversed already, but did not see new highs today. RCL, daily trend reversed already today as well, and did see new high. But AAL's volume looking the best of the three. PENN is next. And here's what I'm looking at. Long-term trend line. 1, 2, 3 rejections. Breakout. and then sold off on earnings. And now we're breaking over again with potential of immediate backtest after a strong daily bull divergence. So far, this chart is lacking that follow through. This kind of strength for daily bull divergence, I would have anticipated a much stronger follow through already. So that's a slight red flag so far, but it could be a delayed move. PENN is, I have the alert set at about 52.40. On the break of that, there could be a very nice move to the upside. Remember, we're not looking at, up here. Even if we do move to the key zone, which potentially could be redrawn. I'm going to say here, yeah, so a lot of support, lots of rejections. 85. Even if you move to this area, that is gonna be a very nice risk to reward. Bottom of the key zone, you're looking at 40%. Top of the key zone, you're looking at 60%. To that very notable key support resistance, you're looking at 68% on PENN. Do not lose sight of it. There's a few options you can choose from. PENN, DKNG, or BREG, they're all looking a little bit decent for bottoming out kind of pattern. And while we're on the topic of bottoming out, the other potential is marijuana. So let's take a look at marijuana as a sector MSOS. Bottom of that key zone, nice strong bull divergence. Gonna need to see that follow through. Daily trend is already reversed. Lower low, lower high, higher low. And now today, as of today, we are seeing a daily higher high. So the daily trend is already reversed on MSOs. So this is US focused on cannabis, but if you're looking at Canadian, it's a very similar idea. Just take a look at CGC, nice bullish action today. You're gonna need to see a break over that 980, and then followed by a break over 1120 for that confirmed daily trend reversal. But marijuana space looking kind of interesting. Reversal potential, bottoming out. Same with sports gambling. All right, so that's it for today's video. I felt a lot longer than what it actually is. Anyways, thank you guys for your patience. I'm a little bit out of practice for recording videos, so I do apologize for that. And thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the content. If you know anyone that could benefit from the content we provided, please consider sharing our channel with them. Would really appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy 2022.